Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Sim Racing Alliance. It's season 13. We are starting out tonight strong.
As they do go side by side. It is the formation lap almost done. They will look, all eyes to the lights. That's going to be an amazing start.
And we have a crash in turn 1 already. What's going on?
On to the bus stop straight. Goes for it around the outside.
More contact behind. That is huge. A couple of gainers in that one.
She's given it everything. She has to. I'm not sure that it's over yet, though.
This is the last opportunity. We're off and away for SRA.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to SRA Division 5. We are here at the last round of the season at the amazing racetrack of Imola. My name is Trey Morgan, and I am here with the wonderful and one and only Adam Santana.
Hey, Trey, thank you so much for filling in tonight for Henry. Hopefully he maybe gets home and can join us, but if not, Henry, keep doing your amazing job. We miss you. But Trey is about to fill in very nicely.
Yeah, Henry decided that saving houses is more important than racing. I personally disagree, but you know, playing hero is always a good thing sometimes. But, anywho, welcome back, guys, to Division 5. It's going to be a fun one. Should be some good, hopefully clean racing, but if nothing else, a lot of fast racing. But Adam, I will go ahead and let you talk us through the driver standings going into our last round.
Yeah, this is super, super exciting. We've been talking about this for the last few minutes. But yeah, it looks like as far as possible championship winners, we have our top 8. So we have Roger Rodriguez, Neil Leader, Brad Garman, Fernando Catoira, Anthony Lombardo, Edward Ryan, Roger Dismukes, and Riley Greer. Now, Riley Greer has a long road to hoe because he needs to score 110 points, so he needs a win, and essentially no one else ahead of him to score points. So that would be a tough one. Roger Rodriguez has won the last 3 in a row, but Neil Leader is just 12 points behind, and then Brad Garman is 59 behind, but certainly still in the game. Same with Catoira, Lombardo, and Ryan. After that, we have, we can just look at the Silver Championship as well. Rogers Dismukes is leading that at P7 overall. And then Nolan Witt in P9, Shane Lewis P10, Finjen P11, back in the Silver Drivers with Zach Watt and Michael Santos. So they still have some decent fighting left to do for the Silver standings. And then we have Corey Mummery, followed by Connor Farrell, Ramon Lorenzo, Alan Lewing, Andrew Duambonglio in 18th, and 19th Cliff Hemian, followed by Corey Colt, rounding out the top 20. And then we have Stephen Pellerin, Cameron Beeson, Mark Allen, Rob Warren, Aaron Kovac, Max Stearns. And then in P27, we have Dan Thibodeau, Vienna Mon P28, Brian Banks in 29th, Julian A.L. in 30th, Louis Galvez, John Baham, Jan Rodericks, Ryan Clark, Cesare Pizzuto, T. Resonance, Josh Parker. Now we're getting to some people that are maybe finished, but we will still give them a shout out on stream. Richard Mack, Emil Garcia, Brad Charlin, Matt Moon, Casey Rich, Jeff Shepard, Robert Lacey, Alex Donaldson, Bess Ragova, and Rowan Baham.
Yeah, a lot of names here, but a lot of good drivers. I'm a little.
A lot of names you're familiar with because you raced against them for 2 races, 3 races?
3 races.
3 races.
But yeah, so we'll go ahead and look at the team standings now.
Yeah, and this is one that I hadn't really looked at. So we have Potato Performance in P1 with Brad Garman and Zach Witt. G5 Racing in P2, and whoa, man, yeah, we got a lot to fight for here for the team championship. Black Flag Racing, almost a different F word I don't want to say. Champion Motorsports in P4. The Ass Tons in P5, Plan E Racing in P6, followed by Plan E Racing in P7. I can't read what that first one is, and then M Potent Motorsports is in P7 for Plan E Racing, followed by Championship Motorsports in P8, Madhouse Racing in P9, Visual Sim Sport in P10, followed by is that Red? Does that say Red Eel Racing?
Yes, it is. Red Eel Racing.
I don't know if Neil is in Red Eye Racing, but either way, great name. By himself in P11 is Neil Leader. That's impressive. He could maybe finish top 10 by himself in the team championship.
Yeah, that'd be a great accomplishment.
That would be. Charcuterie in P12, the Italian Job P13. Let you guess what car they're driving. You get 2 shots. Comic Racing, Bullet Racers in P14. Baseline Odd Life Motorsport in 15th. Followed by Just a Dude, which is Edward Ryan Solo in P16. Very impressive. Crowd Killers in 17th. Mid Pack Mafia, followed by It's a Rental. God, I forgot how great these D5 team names are. Rockin' Roberts in P20. Vanquish Racing Team, followed by Baseline Motorsports. Oh, I can't read that last word. I should have put my glasses on. Ferrari Marlboro in 23rd. GT Motorsport in 24th, and I think the rest of these are. So is Vanquish Racing Team in 25th, and Aviary Motorsports in P26.
Yeah, it's a lot of close battles up at the top here between Potato, G5, and Black Flag Racing. Any of them really, realistically, I think those are the 3 that have a chance to take over the championship today after this race. But theoretically, just about anyone down to P10, I suppose, theoretically has a chance to win. So it should be a good battle today.
Yeah, I think I would probably say Potato Motorsports are probably in the best position. I think Brad Garman and Zach Watt, they've both been pretty consistent. Zach Watt, a silver driver, has been consistently qualifying around the top 10. So I think that gives them a pretty big leg up. But Riley Green and Finn Jen, can't count them out. And I mean, just Mukes and Ramon Lorenzo, I mean, you can't count them out either. So, absolutely. I mean, like I said, we can't count any of the top 10. But if I had to pick a team right now, I'm going with the favorites, Potato Performance.
All right. So our silver drivers are beginning to qualify, but for right now, we're gonna give a quick rundown of the track map here. Oh, nope, that's the wrong one. There we go. Track map. There we go. So we are at Imola in Italy, the last race of the season, with a lot of technical corners and one really long, kind of squiggly straight. So that all begins as normal at the pit straight. So you have turn 1, which is kind of a turn, just a little right jink at the beginning of the pit straight, and then you have the chicane of turn 2 and 3. I believe that was added after, was it Senna's crash?
Yep, that was after Senna's crash.
Yeah, so you can thank Senna for turns 2 and 3 being there. Unfortunate that it had to be added there.
The way you said it was like almost a little bit of disgust, just like, skill issue.
Yeah, it's unfortunate why it had to be added.
Well, that's also, there's like no runoff behind those barriers as well.
Yeah, they had to change something, but anyway, to continue along with this, you have turn 4, which the left-hander should be flat out after you get through the chicane, down to another chicane for turn 5 and 6. Not a hard braking zone, so probably not too much overtaking into that chicane, but it is a very easy place to wreck. We saw, I believe it was Sonoda crash there in F1 2 weeks ago, so hopefully we don't see that happen here today, but it wouldn't surprise me. But after turn 6, we are entering sector 2. Turn 7 is a hard braking hairpin. Probably, again, not too many overtakes just because it's not a long run-up between turn 6 and 7. But again, a hard braking zone. Then we go up the hill through the turn-ish of 8. It's just a little right-handed king that should be flat out into turn 9. Turn 9 is another hard braking zone before a left-handed turn into another corner, which I actually do consider a corner, of turn 10. And then we have probably the most difficult set of corners here at the track of turns 11, 12, and 13. 11 should be flat out basically right until the corner, depending on how your setup is done. But after turn 11, you're hard braking all the way through 12. 13 should be flat out, assuming that you've set up turn 12 correctly. And then after turn 12 and 13, we get into Sector 3. And Sector 3 is a very fast section because it's got one chicane and then basically two 90-degree corners. Turns 14 and 15 is a very slow chicane. It's a very tight chicane. Very easy to spin out if you hit one of the curbs on the inside of those too hard. But very, shouldn't be too bad. I would hope not anyways. But then we have turn 16, which again isn't really a turn. Turn 17 is a hard braking zone. We should see some good overtaking into that corner, but it's a 90-degree left-hander, and then another 90-degree left-hander for turn 18, and then we're back onto the pit straight for turn-ish 19, and then back onto the pit straight.
I do love how all the different circuits play fast and loose with what's corner and what isn't a corner.
Yeah, it is always interesting.
Yeah, I will say, and you know, obviously a flat track map doesn't do it justice, but basically once you get into turn 7 all the way to 18, I mean, it's so much elevation change. Not to mention the potentials of especially turns 19, 17, and 18 of getting potential track cut warnings, as well as 12 and 13 if you blow your braking. It's that section of track from 9 to 18. It's brutal, and it comes at you so fast and so quick. It makes this one of my personal favorite tracks, and I think it's by and large favored by a lot of people as well.
Yeah, it's a track that I love, but I come from the F1 racing games where overtaking on this track is very hard. Hopefully that'll be different here in GT. But we're going to go ahead and move to watch qualifying. So right now, we are currently watching Josh, I believe it's Josh Parker, but Parker for nonetheless. He was our first driver to go out as we see him go off into the sand there for turn 18. Our current pole sitter is Duong Bonglio here in the, I believe that's an Aston Martin?
Yep.
Yes. He currently has a pole time of a 144.0, doing pretty good as a Nwit goes up to P1 with a 143.4.
Yeah, and one thing to point out is we are qualifying on a fast track right now, so the track doesn't have the most grip possible, so our silver drivers are going to have to push a little bit harder than normal, possibly to extract that potential lap time.
Yeah, also this is a very cold track. Up in the top right, you can see that we're at about 19 degrees Celsius, and that's because we're qualifying at 4 in the morning.
Yeah, and I believe the race start time is at 6, so I think we're going to be right in the sunrise, so that's going to be very interesting to watch for the race.
Yeah, we'll be able to show it a little bit better, or we'll be able to show it once we get into the actual race, but the run up into turn 8 and 9, you have the sun shining directly into your face. Since it is a sunrise, you won't have much issue, or at least the drivers shouldn't, but it is a thing to look out for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely, and not a lot of big movers at the moment. Our biggest is Beeson in P7 up 7/10, which would jump them up to P3 just about.
Not sure what happened to Santos, but he spun off into turn 7.
Well, he should. If he gets out quick, he can get out and get another lap, but I don't know if he's moving. Nope, he is stationary, so I think that is his qualifying done.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but he's not doing too bad. Now, of course, the track will continue to get rubbered in as we continue going along, so it wouldn't surprise me if he drops down a little bit more. We are currently watching our fastest driver, well, maybe not the fastest, but at least the biggest improver, Beeson, in that wonderful, wonderful Mustang. He is currently up almost a second, about 9/10 now on his current lap.
Yeah, big improvement. We went from mostly red to almost all green. That's something we love to see. Love to see people improving their times. I hopped on Pizzuto on the pit. He is 1.2 up right now. That would hop him up to around P6, and we'll see. Still has a decent bit left in the lap.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we're going to go ahead and watch Dismukes come across the line here. And he jumps from P8 to P4, so very nice jump of about 6/10.
Yeah, I think championship implication-wise, he's certainly one to keep an eye on for the Silver Championship as well as the Team Championship. Oh, a little bit too much curb there, and yeah, that's his qualifying
Yep.
over.
Oh,
Oh, and that's Pizzuto spinning in the pit, but he did finish that previous lap, moved up to P7.
all right. So not a complete loss. Meanwhile, Nwit or Nwit, not Nwit. Although that is a cool name, but Wit.
That is a cool name.
He is 6/10 up on his previous pole time lap. That would put him into the 142s, which I believe is D4, D3 time. I don't entirely remember.
So from the hot lap leaderboard, the best we had for D5 was Roger Rodriguez with the 42-1. So anything in the 42s, there were only 5 drivers in the 42s in the hot lap leaderboard.
Yeah.
So
All right.
anything in the 42s should do you pretty well here.
Yeah, but Witt is one of those. He completed a 142.8. Our last 2 Silva drivers out on track right now are Luang and Banks. They're not improving too much on their lap, but they are still improving. Most of that is probably from the track heating up and us getting rubber into the tires.
Yeah, the track is still only fast status, so it's possible we don't tick over into optimum even with the gold drivers.
Yeah, especially with how cold the track is, I would almost expect us to not get into optimum at all. Maybe once we get into the track or into the actual racing. Luang, he improves his time, but I don't think he improved his position. Meanwhile, Banks coming across the line, and he does. He jumps up to P9.
Good, that's a good time. Duong Bonglio did, I think he was around the top 3, but he did improve his time, so he's only 1.5 tenths off Witt. So a 42.8 for Witt, I think that's going to hold up pretty well. And then Duong Bonglio with a 43.0. I think those 2 times are going to hold up pretty well against the gold drivers.
All right. So we're going to go ahead and take a passenger view here of Rodriguez for a lap around this track as he's onto the pit straight. This is our fastest driver overall in the practice, so hopefully we get to see a pretty good lap here. I expect that we will.
Yeah, our championship leader won the last 3 races. So I think he's going to be very keen to put this on pole and control this race.
Looks like there's someone out in front of him. I'm not sure who that is.
That's someone that came out of the pit, so hopefully they keep the hammer on or they pull over and let him by. Otherwise, he might have to back out of this. But if he does start giving them blue flags, they do have to let him go since they aren't on a current lap.
Yeah, he doesn't look too close to him, so he should be okay as long as he doesn't make too many mistakes.
Yeah, I would imagine that he will want to back out of this if he's getting closer in, because the first lap's never the good lap, especially.
Ooh, he had a moment there.
Yep. Yeah, I think if I'm him, I'm backing out. But he does have traffic behind, so he has to be aware of that as well. And I think he's still staying in it for the most part.
I think he's wanting to get a banker lap in, even if your first lap isn't the best. I think you want to get used to the track conditions.
Definitely.
I don't remember what I don't know what the practice server was before this was like, so it could have been in the race conditions, and so getting that extra time in the quality conditions can be of use. And also, you just want to get into a rhythm while you're driving. But we're going to go and see Rodriguez here come across the line. And he will get a first lap of a 143.8. So...
Yeah, he's a second off provisional pole, and he lost at least that with that slight mistake in the Aquaman Rally corners. So, yeah, he's got a lot of time to gain.
Yeah, he definitely is able to gain that time, though, as we have 3 drivers, or a lot of drivers here up toward the top. Ryan Claire, and Lewis are all P3, 4, and 5. Ryan isn't too far off of Witt's pole time, and that's only on his first lap, so he probably has a good chance of trying to do something good this race. He has backed off for this lap. I assume he was getting too close to the driver in front of him, but we will have to see how he does for his next couple laps when he gets out of traffic.
Yeah, he he either made a mistake early on or he made that decision early on that he was not going to be able to finish that lap. And yeah, if you think you're going to get in the dirty air of someone, it is better to just cut off.
Absolutely. Meanwhile, Rodriguez, we talked about how he was probably going to get faster, and he is. He's a second up on his previous time, almost a second and a quarter at this point. Now, he is, again, getting blocked by the car in front of him, but I don't think that matters at this point. As long as he's able to keep pace, like, it doesn't even matter if he slows down that much. He will have pole if he's able to keep a good pace going.
Well, at this point, he's going to get a good tow down the main straight, and the start-finish line is a decent way down the straight, so it's not... This is going to be helping. Yeah, this is going to shoot him right at the provisional pole.
Yeah.
Not gaining a lot in the tow, but yet there it goes.
Yeah.
42.6.
Yeah, so he's a quarter second up on our silver pole.
Yep. So, yeah, he's... Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, we have other people going fast. Shane Lewis, I believe it's Shane, jumped up to P3. He is now only 3/10 behind Rodriguez. And Katoira gets not far behind him.
Or P4, not P5. Yeah, and as well with... Oh, I lost my thought. Never mind. Ignore me.
My apologies.
Nope, it was Rodriguez. Oh yeah, he's completely backed out of his lap. So yeah, he's creating a gap.
Yeah.
And Lewis is on heater. He's 6/10 up.
He is. He's doing great. Now he is pretty close to Ryan in front of him, Ryan. So he might get blocked at some point, but he's still half a second up. He just needs to keep pace, and he'll be good.
Yeah. There are many worse drivers to be behind than Edward Ryan, because Edward Ryan is currently in P6, so he's at least on the pace. But yeah, Lewis he's just losing. Yeah, he also invalidated somewhere. He's on invalid lap.
Lewis also invalidated. He went deep into the chicane at the start of Sector 3, so now he's able to back off and hopefully find a good time later in the lap.
Yeah, and the good news is with these cooler temperatures, the tires are always, you're going to want them in the optimal range, but getting that half lap to cool them back down a little bit is probably going to do Shane pretty well here.
Speaking of, we have moved into optimum track, so that rubbering in has helped the track out for the gold drivers, so they will get a better time. However, the track is still at 19 degrees, so their tires will be very cold right now. Looking toward the front, Rodriguez is about 2/10 up on his current fastest lap as he's going through just beginning Sector 2. He is currently our biggest improver, and he's improving by a lot. He's now up 6/10 and maybe not even through half a lap yet, so...
Yeah, and Lewis is up big, back to 6/10 up. Not even at the halfway point either, so Lewis only about 9 seconds behind Rodriguez on track. But Rodriguez is getting more than Lewis is gaining, so this will be interesting to see how that shakes out.
Yeah, and Rodriguez already has that 3/10 gap in terms of pace, so Lewis would have to improve by almost a second at this point to match the lap that Rodriguez is on. Now, Rodriguez did take a very bad line through that chicane. You saw that he hit the inside curve of that second corner, so that will hurt him. He is now down to a 2/10 improvement.
Lewis just aced it, still 6/10 up, so this could be very close at the end of this lap, but they will both have one more.
Yeah, so Rodriguez...
This might come down to the last lap.
It probably will.
Oh, I think Lewis is just going to get Rodriguez at the end of this lap.
Yeah, so Rodriguez improves to a 142.4. Lewis getting ready to come across the...
And Ryan to P1.
Oh, wow.
And then Lewis to P2 by 12 thousandths. Rodriguez by 52 thousandths. Oh, this is coming down to the last lap.
We have a battle for pole.
This is incredible.
Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and watch the first driver here in this chain, which is Ryan. It looks like someone has gone off in that second chicane, number 770. That's Leader. So Leader bottled this lap. He is our... Yeah. I believe he's our P2
Yep.
in the Gold Championship, so he has to put together a really good lap. He's a second
He's
and a half
invalid.
down.
Leader's done. He's invalid. So
So Lewis is also invalidated. So
leader will get one more lap though.
yeah, Lewis unfortunately won't, but
Nope.
leader should hopefully have a good chance for another lap.
And Rodriguez is a third of a second up right now, so Edward Ryan needs to get going.
Yeah, and
Hmm.
yeah,
Rodriguez is 7
6 tenths
tenths up. Oh,
Jeez.
it's just gaining and gaining and gaining.
Yeah, it's not looking good for Ryan to keep his pole unless something happens here. It is very easy to go wide here in these last 2 corners. I don't expect him to, but it's still very easy to.
Rodriguez is going to the 41s. This is insane for
word.
D5. This is insane.
He's 8 tenths up on his best lap so far.
Oh my goodness.
141.6.
That's incredible. So he just beat his hot lap leaderboard time by, I think, 6 tenths.
That's insane.
Unbelievable time. Well done.
Yeah, so
Unbelievable.
no one else improving to, at least to challenge him for pole, understandably so. Mummery is about a half second up on his current time, which would put him probably up to P9 or so.
Yep. P9, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah, and Leader is still on his last lap, but I don't think he has the tires.
No, it's entirely possible that he may have messed up his pressures or something, and so just doesn't have the grip to go as fast as the other
Yeah.
people here.
We'll see. He could gain at the end of the lap.
Yeah, he's still got a chance.
Yeah. Well, he picked up a couple tenths in that corner. Yeah, he's gonna move up a position at least, maybe 2.
Oh, no, that was a really bad last corner, though.
Oh, I spoke too early.
Yeah, I don't know if you could tell the difference between his lap and Leader's lap, or Leader's lap and Rodriguez's lap, but Leader did not go all the way out to the edge. But
Wow.
Rodriguez, with a massive lap for D5, taking pole. We will go ahead and do our grid walk before too long, but for right now, we are going to go ahead and do, or get a word from our sponsors.
A huge thank you to our SRA sponsors and title sponsors for supporting us here at SRA, as well as support from Documise, a modern business solution for product management. Go to documise.com to learn more today. And support from Retro Saga, a North American-based gaming company that provides accessories for your favourite classic systems, including Nintendo, Sega, PlayStation, and much more. Enhance your retro gaming experience today at retrosaga.ca. And a big thank you to our affiliates, Track Racer. Experience redefined gaming with Track Racer's high-quality sim rigs and accessories. Use code SRATE at checkout to support us. Armamentario, a toolbox for ACC that will enhance your chance to win. Enjoy a fully customizable and enhanced HUD to change the way you experience ACC. AT3D Sim Shop. Upgrade your sim racing experience today with premium 3D printed accessories featuring precision crafted magnetic shifters, sleek cable management solutions, versatile stream deck mounts, and immersive dashboard displays. Their innovative designs, enhance performance and style, elevate every lap with top-tier quality and craftsmanship at at3d.net. Go Setups, premium esports setups for everybody. Use our affiliate link on our Discord and take your drive to the next level. Castle and Cauldron, a home-based crafting business specializing in handmade Harry Potter, Fantastic Beasts, and Fairy World collectibles. Magic wands, potions, mini dioramas, wall decor, costumery, cosplay, and much more. Castle and Cauldron is where crafting meets the magical. Visit facebook.com/Castle Cauldron. And from KP Concepts, your source for custom automotive renderings, graphic design, and printing. We spend countless hours making you look all good for the spectacle. Check out kpconcepts.com for more.
Alright guys, welcome back. We are going to do our grid walk here. Before we get started, Adam, go ahead and take it away.
Yeah, so we have Roger Rodriguez on pole. Shouldn't really be much of a surprise to anyone at this point. Followed by Edward Ryan in P2, splitting the McLarens. Shane Lewis is in P3. We have Fernando Cotoira in P4 with a little home track advantage for the Ferrari. Nolan Witt is in P5. Andrew Dongbonglio in P6. And those are both silver drivers, so that is huge for them and their championship hopes. Brad Garman is in P7, followed by Riley Greer, both in the BMW. And we have Mummery in P9 and Finn Jen rounding out our top 10. And after that, we have Lombardo at 11th. And 12th, we have Beeson, Corey Colt, P13. Roger Dismukes in P14, who, if I am correct, is our current silver championship leader. So he potentially is going to need to get a move on, gain some positions. Neil Leader in P15, who is P2 in the gold standings. If he has any hope of getting the championship, he's going to need Rodriguez to have a little bit of bad luck, and he's going to need to be a big mover early on. Mark Allen in P16. Santos in 17th and 18th. We have Pizzuto, followed by Pellerin and Thibodeau to wrap out the top 20. And then 21st, we have Banks, Alan Lewing in P22, Colin Farrell in 23rd, and P24, we have Watt. In 25th, we have Parker. 26th, we have Cliff Hemian. And 27th, we have Garcia. And then last and certainly not least, with a pit lane start this evening, we have Louis Galvez.
Yeah, so
man, yeah, we got a smaller grid than usual, but that's pretty typical for the last race of the season. But still a very solid grid at 28 drivers.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to a good race. Probably only looking for P2 to be an actual race, unless Rodriguez has some incident. With that massive lap he put in with qualifying, I expect him to kind of run away with it if he gets the chance.
Yeah, as long as he has a good launch off the line, I don't think he's going to have too much trouble, but that's not a guarantee. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised at all if Edward Ryan and Lewis in P2 and P3 maybe get a good jump on him. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see, but Rodriguez at this point doesn't need to fight tooth and nail, but I think he would love to finish the season out with 4 wins in a row.
Yeah, that is the dream. We saw that in D3 with Roca winning the last 4 races, I believe, and he'll try to do it again, but we're not focusing on D3. We're focusing on D5, which is coming to the start line here in just a moment. Our grid has formed up behind our leader, Rodriguez, as we move just that little bit closer to the start line.
Give each other a lot of room.
Yeah, probably not a bad idea to give extra room, especially around a technical track like this. But we are moving to the line. I don't know where the green flag goes. Apparently,
it is further along. It is right around the last.
And there
key.
it is. We are green, green, green. Go for racing. Looks to be fairly consistent. We are 3 wide. Oh, someone gets hip checked. Someone has been sent off.
Oh, big contact. Oh, back in the bottom half of the field.
Oh, no. Yeah, we have 3 drivers who are off. Thibodeau, Watt, and I believe Garcia. Thankfully, that doesn't seem to have fallen to the rest for most of the rest of the grid. Rodriguez has managed to pull away, so we'll have to see if he's able to keep that up. I kind of expect that he will be. In the pip here, we're showing what happened. Or at least we were. I believe that was Garcia, maybe, that got thrown into the wall.
Yeah, someone got hit from behind and put him in the wall, and there's just no runoff there, and they bounce back onto the track.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Going 3 wide through those corners is not the easiest thing to do by any stretch of the imagination. Mm-hmm. Even 2 wide through most of these corners is very hard to do. But we have a lot of good racing going on. Lewis has fallen back from leaders, but Dongbonglio looking up the inside there toward the back. Decides not to try anything into that corner, though, and probably a good idea.
Yeah, at this point, after that carnage that just happened, it's probably safe. Only 2 cars are really falling off the back, but I mean, there was quite a few cars there at the back that definitely took at least a little bit of damage.
Yeah, at a tight track like this, it's not that uncommon to see that happening. We are currently riding along, or watching, Beeson. He had been fighting with Lombardo for position. He's since dropped back a little bit, but certainly will keep adding the pressure as up front, Duong Bonglio takes a look at the inside there, decides not to do anything, though.
Yeah, and Rodriguez has not gotten away from, Rodriguez has not gotten away from Ryan. Ryan is right on the back of him. What we have in the pip, they are 0.2 of a second. So this win isn't nailed on at the moment.
Yeah, so
I think Ryan's probably going to keep Rodriguez honest, or hopefully going to keep him honest.
Yeah, you'd hope so. We just caught the very end of it. Katoya got around Witt for to take back P4. Done in a very nice job into that turn 5, I believe that was. Yeah, turn 5. So very nice job there.
Did someone take their pit, or they just? Yep. Looks like. Oh no, Galvez started from the pit, so I think that's going to.
Yeah, I'm not.
I don't know if it's
so far.
No. Well, it's showing Galvez has having been in the pit and been stopped for 1:14, which tracks because he is in Tosa, and the rest of the pack is in worse Aquaman rally. So it's possible he did take his stop.
Possibly. I see some yellow back here. I'm not sure for who though. I believe it was for Leung. One of the pink Porsches went deep through the chicane there to start Sector 3, and I believe it was him, as he's now trying to fight with Garcia. Yeah, Garcia?
Ooh.
No, I don't think that is Garcia. Who is that? That's Banks.
That was brave.
That was
I think
brave.
that was Nope. That was...
I think that'd have to be Banks, because Banks is the only Lamborghini.
No. Yep, that is Banks. You're correct. Yeah, the timing tree just isn't updating accurately. Yep, there it went.
Out front, Pellerin gets around leader going into turn 2. Very nice job to get that overtake done before going to the chicane, because trying to go side by side through the chicane there is not the best idea, so we'll have to see if he's able to keep that up. Santos took a little bit of a look there on Allen, but decided not to do anything, but he is right on his tail. As he gets very close into turn 7, there's a yellow. Thibodeau has gone wide and smacked himself into the wall.
Yeah, I imagine that was maybe too much curb, or maybe got some help.
He rear-ended the Porsche in front of him, I think, or maybe outbraked himself trying not to and just slammed that inside wall.
Yeah, that'll be a decent bit of damage. I imagine that will be him taking his pit stop.
Yeah, if he doesn't pit, I'll be shocked.
Yeah, no, he's getting a lot of damage there.
Yeah, so we got a bit of a train here forming behind Colton here in 13th. P13 through 22 are all roughly next to each other. There's Finjen. Finjen has spun off. I'm going to pull up a replay of that. So,
and I think that's going to have some pretty big...
Oh, no, he had help.
Oh, no!
Oh, that's not what you want to see. And that's into the last 2 corners.
Yeah, I'm not... that's the kink going into the Ravatsas.
I think that might have been Lombardo. I'm not entirely sure, and I'm not going to point out names, but I think that's who it was.
I'm not totally sure where they were before.
Oh, someone else is out.
The leader was before that.
The 419 of Dismukes. That is our silver leader. He spun. I'm going to pull up a replay of this.
That's huge. Oh, he got help too. Oh no, and that was...
Was that Finn? Who was that? That was a... Yeah,
that was either Finjen or that was Finjen's teammate.
I think that was Finjen, because...
Oh no.
Oh, Finjen not having a good time there.
Oh man.
Yeah. You know, it looks like someone went off track here, back here. I'm not sure who, though. But Parker and Farrell are going side by side. Very nice to not hit each other through there. And I believe Farrell should be able to hold this position into turns 11. No, they go side by side again. But Parker goes wide. He could use a speed token there to try and get a better exit, but I don't think he will. So he'll have to fight on for another day there.
Yeah, we have Thibodeau in the pits.
Yeah, so that's probably him trying to take care of his damage.
Yep.
I mean,
Absolutely.
it looks like Parker also has damage here on the front. Oh,
almost
a pit maneuver there.
Yeah, he almost got a lot more right there.
Yeah, but you can see
Yeah.
here that,
Oh man,
I'm not sure what that's from though.
I gotta say, our drivers need to be a little bit more cautious through that kink they're going to Ravazza, because it is not always easy to go too wide through there.
No, it's not.
And they are doing it liberally right now.
Meanwhile, in the back here, Pizzuto I think he had an issue coming through the last two corners because he had a... Oh, no. Parker! No! Parker and Hemian go into the wall. I'm going to pull this up in a replay if it lets me. Yeah, so they gave each other room, and then... Oh, no! He just smacks into him.
Yeah, look, to me like Parker maybe just kept drifting out, and they're just... The Porsche just held their line, or I mean, it's hard to tell there with that kink.
Yeah, it is very hard to tell. But either way, unfortunate that happens. Oh, Garmin has spot to turn 11 and 12.
Oh man.
Also looks like Duong Bonglio also went off through there, probably trying to avoid him. I'm going to try and pull up a quick replay of this. Yeah, he just spins.
Guys,
I'm not sure if he had help there though.
Yeah, we only have 2 sets of eyes, guys. You gotta calm down. I'm trying to stay glued on this fight for the lead because they're so close to each other, but so much is happening.
Yeah, it's always hard to find singular battles. It looks like two people collided back there. Garcia and Allen kind of shoved each other off there through that chicane and let Hemian through.
This is almost like oval pack racing at this point because they're just glued to each other.
It is. Oh no!
Oh no! No!
Oh, that was a whole bunch of collection there. Henian and Allen both went off. I believe they're back on track now. Yes, they are. I think Leung may have gone too deep on the brakes there, hit one person, then slid into another. I'm not going to say that definitively because I didn't catch it soon enough, but we have a lot of chaos here in the back. As Hemian, Dismukes, and Parker are all now in the pits.
Yeah. It might not be the worst idea just to get out of the traffic. Because there's a lot happening.
Yeah. Trying to put some distance between themselves and the rest of the field is probably not a bad idea. Although, with where they're pitting, I'm not sure that they won't get caught up behind the leaders or just in front of them.
That is a concern because this is a very long pit lane. So I think all three could.
Yeah.
We'll see. I do have the pip on Edward Ryan, so if I need to, I can swap it on Rodriguez and see how the joins are going to look. But from where they're at right now, they're coming out of the last corner, so I think they're going to get all three of them. And yeah, that's going to put all of those drivers in a world of hurt because they are
starting to move now, but
yeah, but they're all getting gassed. Yeah,
they're gonna get stuck in the middle of this pack and be absolutely blue flagged for the entire race, and that is definitely not going to help them.
No, that is the biggest concern with here because the pit lane is very, very long. I don't remember the exact pit lane loss time or the time you lose for a pit stop, but it is significant. Not Spa significant, but it's significant.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Garcia and Luong here in the back are fighting. I believe Luong just took a place from Garcia going into the last two corners. Or the last two actual corners, not just happen to be numbered corners.
Yeah. Here's something we can do, and it's not nearly as impressive as it usually is. Our biggest movers and shakers. We have Greer up 2 to P6, Mummery up 2 to P7, Lombardo up 3 to P8, Dwayne Bongolo and Garmin are both down 3 to 9th and 10th. Steven Pellerin, I believe, is our biggest mover up to P13. Connor Farrell is also up 6 positions to P17. And then Garcia is also up 6 positions to 21st. But then our big movers down. Dismukes is down 9, but has served his pit stop.
Right.
So that is not a fair. So yeah, it looks like pit lane loss. So Dismukes, he was stopped in his pit box for 32 seconds and had a full time in the pit lane of 1:14. So I guess we would say our optimum is around a 110, 111, 112 time spent in the pit lane.
All right. So while we were watching that, Santos? Yeah, Santos.
I tell you what, we almost had Edward Ryan almost passed Rodriguez.
Yeah, he's been really close for the last few laps. While you were going through that, we saw both on the pit that he was almost rear-ending him through the turns. I believe that's 17 and 18.
Yeah.
So he has a really good chance to overtake him at some point. I'm not sure if Rodriguez is just kind of trying to hold back at the moment or what.
Yeah, he could be just saving tires and just staying out in front. But I mean, Edward Ryan, he had a nose in. Oh, we have a big fight here going into Tamburello.
Yeah, should be good. Oh no! I believe that was Banks who went a little bit on the grass. In the bottom of the timing table, we can see that Parker has a stop-go 30 penalty.
No!
So I believe he would. I believe that would be from speeding in the pit lane.
Yep, would have to be at this point.
Yeah, very unfortunate. Definitely not what you would want to
bummer.
see. That's I'm not going to say it's going to end his race, but it's most definitely not going to help him.
No, he probably won't be the last, but it's gonna be a tough one for him because I believe he had a lot. What was his time spent in pit lane?
Yeah. I don't
Well,
know.
no, what? Oh, now it's counting. Never mind, it reset because he just re-entered the pit lane, so it cleared that information. Thank you, race control.
Gotta
We
love
would
it.
not have liked to have had that information stored somewhere. You can't complain. It's free software. And it's fantastic
Yeah.
software.
I mean, you can complain, but it's in bad taste.
No, it's in terrible taste. Edward Ryan, a little bit of a run, not quite as much as the last lap.
He might have a chance coming into this next corner set. He is very close. I'm gonna go ahead and. Is he almost side by side? He tries to go to the outside there. Does not.
I mean, at this point,
Go ahead.
I'm wondering, what does he think pit wise? You don't want to pit early here because, as we've just seen, he's almost certainly going to pit into traffic if he pits now. So pitting early isn't going to help him.
Yeah.
But he can't just follow what Rodriguez does because then he's going to have to make the pass on track, which he potentially could do. He has really good pace right now. So we can't say he can't do it, but
Yeah, so I'd say it probably depends on how it looks for other drivers. If other drivers start pitting early, then I think he has a chance to go for an undercut. But I don't think he's going to want to do that until traffic gets out of the way, either by them getting fast enough that they don't have to worry about pitting into traffic, or other traffic, the traffic pits out of the way. Now, ththis guys are at the start of the... sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, 1:10 is actually gonna take it. No, this isn't calculating right. ACC. It's okay. So essentially they would drop to the back of the pack if they pitted right now. So he could come out in clean air.
Yeah, he definitely could. I'm not sure if he would want to.
It's a little early, but I think if you get to the 40-minute mark, I think you have to start considering it.
Definitely. I mean...
And you just kind of have to take the gamble, because at this point, you're not going to... If you don't think you can overtake him, you just have to do something different. And I'm not saying Edward Ryan can't overtake Rodriguez. He got a nose in at least once. So it's not out of the question, but...
Definitely. So yeah.
You just got to just keep your options open, which he's certainly doing just by staying out.
Yep. So good strategy calls to look out for in the future. It looks like someone spun out of the last corner. That was Banks. I'm going to go ahead and pull up a replay here as he goes into pits. Not sure what... Oh, no, he just... Oh. Looks like he may have just understeered into... I believe that was Allen in front of him. But he is now going into the pits to hopefully get out of... Why is he going so slowly? Is he having an issue?
I don't know if he maybe felt like he sped in the pit lane and he thinks if he goes slow it's going to help him, but it won't. Because unfortunately that's not the way that that works.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I can think of. Or I mean, it's possible he could have damaged the engine somehow with that spin. It's very rare for that to happen. It's possible.
Yeah, I don't know. So, well, I guess we'll have to see what happens whenever he comes out of it. Meanwhile,
we'll have to keep an eye on that.
Yeah. So Leader got in front of FinGen here not too long ago. I think I was able to catch him just as they were getting ready to go through the hairpin of turn 7. But they are getting ready to go back through the beginning of the lap. Parker is still in the pits at this point, so it wouldn't surprise me if he's just kind of parked it for the race. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, I think he did.
Yeah, looking a little bit further ahead of them, Colt is 2/10 back on Beeson, so looking for a move there. Nope, he decides not to. Meanwhile, out front, Ryan has dropped 2 seconds on Rodriguez.
Yeah, I don't know if he made a mistake or maybe Rodriguez just turned the wick up a little bit, but that's certainly something we'll need to keep an eye on, because if he's going to build a gap now, it's Ryan's going to have to make a move quick, and he's got to make a decision on what he's going to do, whether it's staying out long or pitting right now.
I think it was
that's a big move on the outside.
That was a great move. But I do believe it was Rodriguez turning up the wick a little bit, because the last lap of basically everyone in the top 8 is at about a 144, some in the high like 143s or low 145s. But then you have Rodriguez, whose last lap was a 142.9. So I do believe it is definitely him turning up the wick to try and get some space there. I don't think he particularly liked the looks that Ryan was giving him, so he just said, "Yeah, let's get you some space here. I don't need you in my review mirror."
I think you're right. So Banks was in and out. It doesn't look like they got a penalty, so I think they maybe just were just a little slow in the pits. But yeah, they're in and out.
It's possible he was letting someone, the guy that he hit, go. I saw someone passing him going into the pits, and it looked like it was a green BMW, which is the color of the car that he hit. So it could be possible that he was just letting him ahead of him. But I
believe the car had gone ahead, though. But I mean, maybe he just anything could have been happening. Yeah. Maybe he just had a hardware issue. It could have been anything, really. But yeah, no, he was in and out. He did fix about, it looked like 29 seconds of damage. So he should be coming out with a good car.
All right. So hopefully he's able to keep his car looking fresh and pristine. Right now we are watching Riley Greer trying to attack Witt. Witt has stayed in P5 for most of this race. He's doing really good as a silver driver. Greer, I think, took a speed token there to try and stay with Witt. He had been 3/10 back, but he's dropped a little bit after that mistake. Greer has been doing really good from what I remember. I know that last season he did really good in the last race of D6, and thus got him promoted to D5 along with a bunch of other D6 drivers from last season. So good to see him up near the top.
Yeah, top 10 in the championship at the moment, I believe, unless I'm mistaken. Yeah, he's 8th.
Yeah.
So he's certainly going to help himself out tonight.
Yeah, and I believe his teammate he and his teammate are second in the team standings too. So he definitely has a chance to help himself out. I don't remember who his teammate is. It might be FinGen. I believe it is FinGen, but
I believe you're correct. Yep.
Yeah, FinGen is.
It is FinGen. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. They have the same livery.
Yeah, so they're both in line for some good points here, as long as they can keep it going. And I'm not sure who Rodriguez's teammate is, but
Rodriguez, I don't believe that their team is really in the fight for the team championship.
All right. Well, meanwhile, Finjen into the pits. Just so happened to catch that perfect timing. Meanwhile, Katoira and Lewis are up here fighting for P4. They are going into turn 8. No little looks there. Not really close enough.
So yeah, for the team championship, it's Garmin and Watt are P1, then Greer and Finjen, and then Dismukes and Lorenzo. And then I don't see Rodrigo. Where you at? Oh, Alex Donaldson, and I don't believe Alex has raced in the last few races. So, yeah. So Rodriguez, they're in P8 in the team championship. So yeah, they're not going to be a factor for the win.
I think they still technically have a chance, but
yeah,
realistically, probably not. Meanwhile, we missed it, but Pellerin and Santos swapped places. So Santos doing pretty good. He's in the top 15 as a silver driver, so he's facing competition that, at least according to the league standards, is faster than him for the most part. But he's doing pretty good. He's in a little chain with Colt, Pellerin, and himself. Leader just behind him had been fairly close, but I'm not exactly sure why he's fallen back. As Greer... Oh,
no! That's way off.
I'm going to pull up a replay here. So I think he probably
That's
just...
too much curve.
Yeah. Oh.
Grass. A little bit of grass,
Yeah,
I think
he just had an oversteer moment into that corner.
Oh, no!
On the plus side, obviously he's not retiring, but if he was retiring, he parked perfectly for the stewards to move his car out of the way.
Yeah. Yes.
But really unfortunate. Meanwhile, Santos and Pellerin are still fighting. I believe they had been side by side at some point, or at least that's what our race control thing is showing.
Yeah, and we still have our top 19 need to pit. So Finjen and P20 is our first on track driver that has pitted.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where he filters out. I would assume that he'll be doing pretty good. Although I'm not sure where he is in terms of traffic right now. It looks like he is a lap behind. 2 laps behind. No, that's probably just because he hasn't crossed the finish line yet. So, yeah, 1 lap behind. And he doesn't really have too many people close to him. He does have, I believe it's Lombardo or maybe Lombardo's teammate, not too close or not too far behind him, but he should be good. Speaking of Lombardo...
Yeah, so Finjen would still be on the lead lap. It's just... updating now. It's showing 13 and 13, so he is on the lead lap. Oh no!
Thibodeau spun again.
Thibodeau.
Yeah, it looks like he just spun into that chicane. If you go too deep onto that inside curb, it's not really a curb. It's more just kind of a lip. And so if you touch that curb almost at all, you get really, really loose. And so spinning to the inside there is not an uncommon occurrence. We're going to go ahead and watch Garmin go alongside Duong Bungleo. Duong Bungleo had an issue through turn, I believe that was 6? No, turn 5. That was 5. No? 6. It was 6.
No, that was 7 Tosa. Or is that 7? I can't remember the number. 7. Yeah, the hairpin's 7.
Well, yeah, so into the hairpin.
It doesn't matter.
He had an issue into one of the corners. We'll say that. That's all we know for sure. But Garmin tried to get alongside him. He didn't really have a good chance to overtake, though. Not in the right area of the track to get any kind of an easy overtake. But meanwhile, our P2 driver is into the pits.
Okay, he's at least doing something different. So we'd like to see that. So I would imagine he's going to come out behind that big pack where there's that big gap between that big pack and that one single driver. So I would imagine so, but we'll see.
And his last lap was about 0.3 faster than Rodriguez's last lap. I'm not sure if Rodriguez is starting to have issues or if he's just backing off the pace, because his last lap was a 1:44 flat. Probably
Santos with a
but...
stop and go 30.
Oh no!
Oh man!
So we're down to 2. Next time I'm going to show it once we get close to the pits here. But this pit lane is very annoying for braking, gating in. Most of the stops that we have here, I'm going to go ahead and see if I can watch Santos as he comes back in not too long. But most of the pit lanes that we've been seeing so far, you have a pit lane exit, you're flat out for a while, and then you start braking. Normally, like, directly under a banner. At least that's how it was at Austria and Barcelona. But at this track, you have to brake almost immediately as soon as you get onto the pit lane, because the braking or the speed limit line is basically just after the pit exit, or the pit entry. Sorry.
Yeah. So Ryan just came out right behind. I believe that's. I don't think it's updated. It looks like it's maybe. It doesn't look like a Porsche though.
I don't know.
It's Sangluing. It looks like a Ferrari. Maybe he's behind leader.
That looks like a lapped traffic. Because I saw
it
a
could
blue
be
flag.
lap traffic, and that's why it's throwing me off.
But
I think you're right.
yeah. So hopefully you guys saw while we were going in, but he started braking immediately as he turned onto the pit line, and then you can see the white stripe there almost immediately after the pit line starts to do your thing. Pellerin,
It's a tricky one.
it is a very tricky one.
Memorian, Colton.
Yeah, so we are beginning to see. I believe we've now got over half the field has pit so far. Obviously,
Yeah. P9 and up have not pitted yet.
So we'll have to wait and see how these pitters work out. Meanwhile, Rodriguez, he's out in his own space right now. He's 9 seconds ahead of our current P2 with Lewis. It'll be interesting to see where he comes out, because Ryan, well, I don't know how fast
He is our
Ryan
he is our
right now.
leader that has pitted. Ryan is, and he's about a minute 15 behind Rodriguez. So he needs to pick up 3 or 4 seconds. So if I'm Rodriguez, if I can see that gap, I'm probably.
Oh, he makes a mistake.
Oh,
Rodriguez cuts the inside of that second corner. Now, technically, I think you go faster if you cut that inside chicane there correctly, but I don't think the way he did it was correct, because he was very slow out the exit of that corner. So Ryan probably has a good shot of undercutting Rodriguez if he doesn't pit soon.
the gap is staying pretty solid at 115, but Ryan won't have the tires up to temperature yet, and now it's starting to come down. It's come down about half a second.
Also,
Almost. It's ticking down. So
ooh, Garcia.
Rodriguez probably needs to pit.
I'm not sure what it was, but there was a yellow flag for Garcia. I'm gonna see if I can
Ooh.
find anything. Just going deep. Okay.
Ah.
Unfortunate, but definitely better than some of the other things we see. Also, I would like to apologize for Rodriguez. That was Garmin I was following during my last hit when I was talking about him, not Rodriguez. So Rodriguez did not make a mistake. However, his last lap was a Rodriguez, now we're actually watching him. Rodriguez's last lap was a 1:47.
Yeah, he had to have made a huge mistake somewhere.
Yeah, so if he doesn't pit probably this lap, I assume Ryan will have a good chance of overtaking him.
It's still at 114, so a good stop, a good entry, and he stays out.
Yeah.
So I mean, a good entry and a good stop into the pit box, he should be fine. But you never know how that shakes out. You might have someone in front of you that pits right in front of you, or someone that's a back marker that's pitting at a different time, and they're blocking your pit box. It's a lot of things can happen. Wits in as well from P4.
Yeah, so good number of pitters. We are halfway through this race, so I would expect most people to be pitting soon, if not already. Obviously, most people already pitted, but for those that haven't pitted, I'm a little surprised that they haven't, especially Rodriguez. But the other thing for Rodriguez, oops, someone spun. Farrell. I'm going to try and pull up a replay. Oh, just a little bit too much. Maybe, I don't know if it was too much braking or what, but just a little bit of oversteer going into that corner. He wasn't able to control it. Doesn't look like he lost too many spots, though, so he should be okay,
I think he lost 2. Not the worst.
Yeah, definitely not the best, but not the worst.
Witt and Beeson.
Yep. So we now only have 5 drivers who haven't pit.
Yeah, and something I was going to say, and this is just my opinion with the current pit stop rules. I think pitting around the 40-minute mark is probably ideal, especially if you're in traffic. Just because of the fuel, because there's no refueling. In SRA, pit stops are a tire change is required, but you cannot add fuel to stop. So you have to take full fuel to start the race. I think pitting around the 40-minute mark at most tracks is probably the best call, but of course every track is different. Imola is a bit of it's a bit hard on the tires, but I still think, going this far, I wouldn't go this far into the race unless I'm Roger Rodriguez and I'm handling the race at the front. But anywhere else, I'm pitting earlier, but I'm also often wrong. So
yeah, I mean, Rodriguez is still on the pace. His last lap was a 1:43.
Yeah.
6.9. I'll call it 0.7. So he's definitely.
And Ryan did a 43.3, so he's not taking huge chunks.
But he is taking chunks.
He is.
Yeah, the gap is now down to a 1:13.
It's enough where if I'm Rodriguez, I would have pitted about 2 laps ago. But Rodriguez could be very supremely confident in what he's going to do in pit lane. Katoira and Lewis are pitting.
Yeah, so we now only have 2 drivers who haven't pit.
3.
3, sorry. Garcia, Monglio, and Rodriguez have not pit.
Yep.
So we'll have to see where they end up.
Yeah, and Dwongbong and Garcia are pretty 34 and 103 off the leaders, so they were maybe just hanging on to stay out of traffic and keep it clean. And at this point, they maybe just keep going long.
Yeah, it's not the worst strategy.
No.
In D3, there has been a driver who's been driving essentially until the last 5 minutes before his pit stop. So,
sure. Hey, I mean, that's what the move used to be in SRA, because it used to be you could do a tire change, but you only had to take 1 liter of fuel required at the stop. So that was the move, was you just take 1 liter. So it was either you pit lap 1 or you pit last lap. Because that's the best way to treat the tires if you're not making a tire change. Because you don't have to reheat them. And me personally, I have a huge problem reheating tires in ACC. It's always been an issue for me, and I don't know why, but yeah, I have a huge problem pitting and refiring the tires.
I have a pretty good. I think I'm pretty good at doing it, but that's mostly just because I slide everywhere. So not the best way to do it. Meanwhile,
but it does work because you put heat right back into them.
Garcia, our 3rd driver who hasn't pitted, is now pitting. That leaves Ryan now in P3, and that gap is now down to a 1:12 to the leader.
Honestly, this is I don't know if Rodriguez is able to monitor that gap, or just maybe doesn't care. We'll see. I don't know. Now he's in. He's in.
All right, so our leader is into the pits. We will have to see where he comes out at. I'm going to be following Ryan here as he makes his way through the track. I think he has a good shot at trying to get this undercut, sorry. But Rodriguez will have much fresher tires through the end of the race. Now, fresher tires that are meant to be driven on for almost an hour isn't the same as fresher tires that you've only run on for 30 minutes or so, like we have here. But you can't say that it won't affect anything.
No, absolutely. It still gives you much better pace. Garcia with stop and go 30.
No. Well, that's 3 penalties now.
Yeah, Rodriguez is still sitting still.
Yeah.
Ryan is coming into the last corner. He's moving. Rodriguez is moving.
Yeah, so it kind of all depends on if Rodriguez gets out soon enough. I
think Ryan's going to have him.
Yeah,
it's going to be so close.
Even if he gets out, no.
He got him.
And that's a massive gap, too.
Wow. That's at least 3 seconds, I think. Yeah, 2.5.
Did Rodriguez have penalty? Or not a penalty, but did he have damage, or did he just miss his pit box?
He was 1 second shorter stopped and 1 second shorter in pit lane than Ryan. So Ryan just did that on pace, on track.
So very nice job for Ryan there. He has the position now. Now, I'm not sure how well he'll do defending for 20 or so minutes, but we'll have to see. He does have an okay gap to Rodriguez, about 2 seconds, so he doesn't have to defend immediately, but he does definitely have to keep the pace up.
Yeah, and the one thing Rodriguez can do is he's not going to need to push to put heat in the tires. He still has 21 minutes, so he can bring them up nicely and tenderly and then spend 20 minutes attacking. So this is going to be a very interesting fight to the end.
Greer got passed after going off track. Oh, that's what happened. So yeah, Greer had a little bit of off there through that second chicane and then got passed by, I believe that's Mummery. Still in the top 10. Still has a chance to overtake Mummy to get back up there, but, still unfortunate. We're going to go ahead and go back to this awesome battle here between Beeson, Leader, and Pellerin. All very close to each other. Beeson looking... No, he does not try anything into this corner. As Pellerin goes a little bit deep. Probably not too big of an issue, but it will set him back just a little bit, so he won't be able to attack too soon. Going through the chicane, all 3 drivers look very clean through there. Maybe a little bit of an issue for Beeson coming out of the chicane, but we're going to go ahead and ride along with him for at least a little bit as he tries to attack Leader here. About a half second behind him.
Yeah, I'm keeping an eye on Ryan Rodriguez. Rodriguez, he's brought it down a little bit, and I think he's just not pushing the matter at the moment. We also still have Dwongbong Leo does have to serve their pit stop. So Edward Ryan is effectively in the lead of the race, even though they are not leading the race on track at the moment. And yeah, the gap, it's shooting a little bit, but I think a lot. Oh,
that's pretty close there. But,
that was so close.
But he doesn't try anything. I honestly expected him to try and do something into that corner, but that straight line speed of the forward there is just insane.
Oh no!
Pellerin.
I don't know if he just caught a little bit of that inside curb or what. That was.
We'll go ahead and watch here.
I think that's what he did.
He just caught some of the inside curb, but that's.
Oh.
I don't know.
That's strange.
Yeah, I don't.
That curb has grip.
That entire corner is strange to me, though. I've had more oversteer incidents through there than understeer incidents, which for a corner like that is very weird to me because it's on turn-in and when you get close to that curb. So I don't know. I think some cars just get really unsettled when they try and go over there.
The way I typically try to drive it, I still don't know if it's the fastest ways. I usually try to drive it in deep and then take a late apex.
Yeah, that's normally what I try to do too. It's an interesting corner because it's an up. You turn into an uphill. So while acceleration is really important, and I think going deep to get that better acceleration is probably your best answer, keeping your top speed through that corner definitely isn't a bad solution. Meanwhile, out front, here in the pip, Rodriguez has caught up to Ryan. His last lap was a 142 flat.
Fast lap of the race.
By a long shot. So, we will be watching that battle very closely as our current on-track leader, Duong Bunglio, has pit.
Ryan did just clear a blue flag car, so that could have been hindering them a little bit.
And we'll see. His Ryan's last stop was a 143 flat, so it's not like he's for lack of pace. It's just Rodriguez has so much more pace.
No, he's insane. 42s in race pace and D5 is silly. We're getting silly here at SRA.
Meanwhile, Pellerin on FinGen, they're side by side going into turn. I think that's turn 9. Turn 9, and he gets past him. So very nice job there getting alongside through the hairpin there and maintaining that position. So very nice job overtaking there. As he does shortcut that chicane there a little bit, but you got speed tokens. You might as well use them, right?
I mean, you can't take them home with you.
Absolutely. You know, we're going to go ahead and switch here. Rodriguez almost has contact there. Thankfully doesn't. But that was very close. We're going to go ahead and ride along here in the passenger seat with him as he goes alongside again.
Duong Bunglio has to stop and go 30.
Oh, no.
This is
Please
not going to end
no.
well. Yeah,
that was way too close for comfort there. Going side by side into turn 11 and 12 is absolutely insane.
Yeah, putting yourself on the outside there is very ballsy, and I love it. I love it.
Yeah, so... Oh, someone spun. The 910 of Banks spun again.
Oh, no.
I believe it was just coming through the chicane. Yeah. Oh, my.
Whoa.
Oh. So it looks like he hit, I believe that was Santos and Allen. I'll have to check that. But that was not a fun place to spin. No, that wasn't Santos. So he spun in front of blue flaggers. Or... people a lap up. I'm not sure who that would have been, though. It might have been Mummery or Katoira? No.
I didn't get a good enough look.
I believe it was... Yeah, I believe it was Mummery and Greer that he spun right in front of. Very unfortunate. Thankfully, no big issues, it doesn't look like. But, you know, still very unfortunate. As Beeson is attacking leader once again. There is a blue flagger in front of leader, so that might throw a wrench into plans. But still a good battle going on here. As Duong Bunglio is now into the pits to serve his stop-go 30.
Yeah, that's going to be a killer.
So, pro tip to anyone racing tomorrow. Or racing currently, I guess. I would hope nobody's watching this while racing, but be very careful going into the pit lane here. So, Beeson gets a good run on leader into this corner, but he does not get an overtake. Leader does have slipstream from a blue flagger in front of him. I believe that's Parker in front of them, and it is Parker.
Yep.
So yeah, Parker in front of leader. He doesn't have to get out of the way immediately. He does have a full lap to get out of the way, but I'm not sure where that blue flag lap started, so he might have to...
Oh.
Someone had a yellow flag.
I think he's...
Yeah.
Listening for... Oh, yeah, Banks.
Yeah, I think
Banks.
Banks just RTG'd.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate. He has not had a good day. Ooh, we caught that on the replay. I believe that was Beeson getting overtaken by Colt. Probably a result of that issue there. Is it?
Yeah, and part of that was Parker. I think Parker probably should have let all three of those cars go at the same time instead of just letting one through. That's a little nitpicky. Personally, I would have done it, but just to get it all done at once. But
yeah, by the rule book, he doesn't have to. But
yeah, nope, not obliged to let them all go at once.
Oh no! Who is that? out front.
Well, that's going to lead to a lead change, I believe.
And that was
Rodriguez back in
the
front.
Flagger.
I'm going to roll that back in the pit.
Okay. So, yeah, I think Ryan was trying to overtake a blue flagger and just got hit. And that will give Rodriguez the lead, I think.
Wow, yeah. Rodriguez just snuck through, just got onto the inside there in Aquaman Raleigh and just made it stick.
You hate to lose the lead like that because that's not even your fault.
Man, no.
Now, he is still close, so he could try something. He's really close going through these corners. So, and I believe he has better straight line speed than Rodriguez does.
I tell you what, he's going to have a huge run in turn one here.
Absolutely. So he definitely has a chance to fight this back.
It was 0.1 coming out of the last corner, so he's gonna have a huge chance. Oh
no!
Yep. Nope. No,
Oh my! That was very close.
Nope. I think Rodriguez needs to give that up.
Yeah.
That was too late. Could have ended both the races.
Yeah. I'm very glad I'm not a steward here for this race.
No.
Yeah,
I say that too often on here. Mm-hmm. I'm glad I'm not a steward. I don't want to educate any of these, but I can say pretty comfortably that was a...
Rodriguez gets a run. He might have a chance. That's another move.
That was too late again.
Rodriguez is... I really don't want to say he's doing anything wrong, but it definitely looks like he's moving under braking here. Or not under braking, but on straights.
Yeah, I think that one is maybe okay because it was one move, and I don't think Ryan had overlap there yet, but that move on the main straight was too much and too late,
definitely
in
a
my
little
opinion.
Iffy. I'm going to go ahead and ride on board with Ryan here.
Yeah, oh my god, there's no other battles on track. Yeah. I'll hop through the field as we stay on with this. Right. We'll hop on with some different people and catch up with what they're doing.
Yeah, not too many other close battles here. Ryan probably, I don't know, this is probably one of his last chances to try and do something. Because between the last few things, Ryan is beginning to fall back. He's almost a second now back from Rodriguez. Yeah. So I don't want to say he's lost this battle for the lead, because there's definitely a chance that something else could happen. But I don't think he has much of a chance of catching him, especially since we saw how fast Rodriguez was in the initial... Oh, and he...
Oh, no, that's it right there. Yeah. And at this point, he can't... However he may feel about those moves, he needs to just keep his head down and stay as close to Rodriguez as possible, because whatever penalty Rodriguez could possibly get, you have to think it could be 5 seconds. You have to stay within 5 seconds at this point if you want to win. I'm not saying that's what the penalty possibly could be. I'm not even saying there could be a penalty. But at this point, you got to keep your head down. I wouldn't blame Edward for feeling a type of way about what happened, but you can't worry about that right now. You just gotta stay clean.
Yep. Yeah. So now with the track cuts he made, obviously, I don't think he got any cut warnings toward his penalty points, but I do think I do think he has to start worrying about that. I don't know how many track cuts we've had, though. I'm not. It's
just from watching the field at large. I haven't really seen too many, but obviously, we've only seen a fraction of Edwards' race. But yeah, that certainly, if he gets a drive through, it doesn't matter. Yeah. It would take essentially a DNF, for Rodriguez.
Yeah.
But even then, there's gonna be 10 cars in between the two of them, 5, 6 at least.
Mm-hmm.
So he just has to keep it clean here. Try to keep it within 5.
I think the best chance he has to overtake on track at this point is if Rodriguez gets held up by blue flaggers. Because the next 2 guys ahead of him, obviously everyone ahead of him at this point is a blue flagger because he's in the lead. But the next couple drivers ahead of him are, sorry to cut myself off, but Farrell just spawned on the inside of turn 7 again.
Damn.
That corner is a kill.
What's happening there?
It's a secret killer, I'm telling you. That's what it is. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can pull up anything.
That was that a Porsche moment?
I don't know. That definitely looks more like a Porsche moment than the other things we've seen, because most of the other issues has been with people getting on that inside curb, and at least at that point, it didn't look like he was on the curb. But now that might have been a result of him getting on the curb, but I don't know.
Yeah, he could have maybe tagged it like right at mid corner and it spat him out, and then the car was unsettled, and then he had a half spin. Who knows? Yeah. But yeah, that was a weird one.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, to continue my point that I was trying to make before I interrupted myself, the next drivers that Rodriguez and Ryan could run into are Hemian here in P19, and then Dismukes here in P20 or P18. Sorry. Now, I wouldn't expect them to really block Rodriguez, but if he catches them at the wrong part of the track, they could get slowed down a considerable amount.
Well, and he is going to have, I think he's going to clear 1. Oh no, they spread out a little bit. If he catches, there's that pack of 2. But I don't know if he'll catch them in 7 minutes. So
with only 7 minutes, he would have to have monster laps to get close to them. Oh no!
Oh no! Someone else at 7. What?
Oh, is that Parker?
That's one of the Modern Warfare. Yeah, that's Parker. That's unbelievable. What is happening at that corner?
I don't know.
Did someone drop a full 10 bananas over there, or what?
I may or may not have taken a butter stick out there before the race.
Oh, okay, that explains it.
Oh, of course.
Well, we can't even see because of the freaking trees. Unbelievable.
I don't know.
The beautiful nature just blocking our view.
Yeah. Meanwhile, our closest battle toward the front, Lombardo
and just passed Allen for P21.
Ooh.
We love a move, though.
That we do. So very nice job there for Duong Bonglio. He had been running up near the front before his stop-go penalty. So unfortunate to see him this far down, but at least he's not quit, which is never what you want to see in races.
We love to see our drivers stick it out against adversity. Even though, me personally, first sign, I'm done. I'm too old. I'm 36. I'm too old. I can't get sweaty for no reason. That's why I commentate now and not race.
Yeah, you gotta get some fun out of racing.
This is a blast. I love commentating these. It's so much fun.
Yeah, I'm young enough that I can at least somewhat handle both, although my sleep schedule would probably say otherwise. Yeah, right now we are watching Lombardo trying to take on Witt. Witt is our top silver driver, currently sitting in P5. Lombardo has been putting on the pressure. He was about a second back maybe 3-4 laps ago, and now he's within half a second. So definitely putting on that pressure. I don't think he'll be able to catch him on this straight, though. He's too far back, and the McLaren does not have enough top speed for this.
I will say, crucially, if it were 5-second penalty, Rodriguez has pulled 5 seconds on Ryan. I don't know what a blocking penalty potentially is.
I don't know.
Which I think if Rodriguez did get a penalty, I think it would be considered a blocking penalty.
Yeah.
I'm not versed enough in the rule book to say what that might be. Steven Sarver, we miss you in the commentary booth. You'll be back someday.
Yeah, we'll drag you kicking and screaming if we have to.
Yeah. No, he said, miss doing commentary, wish I had time to do both. Hey, we'll make time for you. We'll figure it out for you.
Yeah, well, if nothing else, we'll get you some pre-recorded lines to say, and we'll just put it in the broadcast.
Honestly, that would be a lot of fun if we just did that. If we just had soundboards of random SRA people saying things, that'd be a lot of fun.
That would be. Meanwhile, Lombardo, I'm not going to say he's falling apart here, but he has had issues. In between turn 6 and 7, probably on the exit of turn 6, which is just before that hairpin, he was having oversteer issues, and then he went wide there through turn 12. So he had been putting the pressure on Witt, but he is currently putting the pressure on himself now, which isn't what you want to do in the race. You want to make sure that you're doing good and putting the pressure on other people.
Yeah, definitely. But even with what he has going on, the gap has stayed right at 0.8. So
yeah, so he definitely still has a chance, especially if Witt makes a mistake somewhere. Not that we'd expect him to, but we have seen our fair share of mistakes this race.
Yeah, I gotta say, if he just keeps chipping away right now, I mean, he could certainly get within that 0.4 you need at the minimum on the main straight. This blue flag could help him.
It definitely could. Let's see, who is the blue flag in front of it? Someone with a 7.
It's a BMW.
Is that Alan? Yes, that is Alan. And he's getting out of the way.
It's Water Allen.
Yeah, so he's gotten out of the way, but that did allow Lombardo to get a little bit closer. He's now below half a second. Now, none of the corners he's coming up to are really going to be overtaking corners, so I don't know how well he'll be able to capitalize on that, though.
No, but the good news is he's in a McLaren, so through those last couple corners, that dirty air should, well, I say it should not affect him as much, but he is in a McLaren, so it could affect him more.
Yeah, you never can tell with the McLaren, really.
He's got to be clean through here.
And he is. Yep. He almost
he's right on him. I gotta say, the first time I ever raced the McLaren Imola was my second ever endurance race. And I spun on my outlap.
Oh, no. Oh, no, Greer!
Yeah.
I'm not sure what happened, but I saw a yellow flag. I'm going to try and pull up a replay and see what happened.
Yep, I got that fight in the pip. Right. Oh, just spin. Too much curb. A little unsettled. Good.
He didn't lose any positions.
Good recovery.
Yeah.
No.
He had the room behind him, so Mummery, I don't know who that is behind him. 203?
I think that's a lap car, because that's not Mummery.
Yeah, he's got a second. Oh, no, Lombardo!
Oh, no!
That looks like Parker also wrecked, or had a yellow flag. We'll have to watch it later. He just went... maybe.
Oh, no!
And then he just spun.
He had a tank slapper, he saved it, and he just touched that outside curb, and it said, nah.
Yeah.
You're going around, bud.
Yeah, Parker also had some form of issue while we were watching that, but we've shown enough replays of him. I'm not going to belabor the points on him. He's had a rough day today, unfortunately. Not a bad driver by any means, but you just have those days sometimes where nothing seems to be going right.
Oh, absolutely. Those are the worst.
Yeah.
For the NBA fans out there, looks like Karl Anthony Towns just took a big fall in the game.
Oh, no.
Didn't look great, and they cut to commercials. Okay, thank you, TNT.
Meanwhile,
Pacers are up 7 though.
Go Pacers.
Go Pacers.
Anyway, we are on the last lap of this race. Rodriguez,
oh my God! Are we really?
Somehow, yes. I'm not entirely sure how, but
how?
This has been a very quick race.
Possible. Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, crucially, if it was maybe a 10-second penalty, Edward Ryan has kept it at 8.3.
Yeah. Again, we don't want to speculate on penalties that he may or may not get. It could entirely just be a racing incident, but he has driven very well today. He took advantage of the incident with Ryan, which you hate to see, but unfortunately, you just have to live with what you get. Down in the pip, we are going to be watching Colt and Beeson fight it out for P11, but here in the main screen, we're going to go ahead and give Rodriguez his glory. He's been driving tremendously. He has the fastest lap of a 142.040, which is it's over 0.8 faster than anyone else.
It's so insanely
The
fast.
second fastest lap was Ryan with a 142.88.
If I had to guess, I would say Rodriguez probably has like the 10 fastest laps of the race.
Yeah, that's probably
At
a
least
good idea.
5. At least 5.
Yeah, we can look at that later. But for now, we're gonna go ahead and watch Rodriguez
Well
as he crushes the finish line to win at Imola, and by winning at Imola, the last race, he will also finish P1 in the gold standings. So
well deserved.
amazing job for him. Meanwhile, Ryan has just gone through the pit, through the line there for a well-fought P2. Could have been P1. Just a really unfortunate incident for him. Shane Lewis comes in a very fast P3. Katoira not too far behind him in P4. Our silver driver, Witt, comes home in P5.
Silver P1.
Very nice job for him. Lombardo, just behind a blue flagger, but he will come home in P6, a very nice P6. Greer has fought his way back up. He had been P9th, but he is now 7th.
Well done.
So very nice job for him. Mummery, not too far behind him for P8 in the Italian job. Love that livery. Very clean. Garmin, not too far behind him, coming in for P8. Leader will come in to finish a P9 or P10.
P10. Yeah. I think we've had some people leaving.
Yep. I would agree with
throwing
that.
things off a little bit.
So, but
Yeah, things are jumpy.
yeah. But next is Cole Beeson. I can't actually keep track anymore. Colt, Fellerin, Finjen, and then Luang is the last of our drivers to finish on the lead lap, I believe.
Whew.
So, very nice
Yep.
job to Rodriguez for finishing so high for, as far as I know, just about every single race that he's been in, if I'm not mistaken. But he's done a very nice job.
Making some donuts.
Some well-deserved donuts.
Well deserved. Even if he doesn't win the race today, if he does get a penalty, he's still in the championship. In incredible fashion, I believe, finished second in round 1, and then had a pedestrian like 6. So I think maybe it was essentially a DNS or a DNF, and then 2 DNSs, and then has on track at least won the last 4 races of the season, which is incredible. It's insane.
Very.
Well done
Very.
to him.
Yeah,
I would. We can start grabbing some folks.
absolutely. So, I don't see Rodriguez in there, so we're going to go ahead and pull in our... Shane Lewis is also muted, so we're going to pull in our P3 or P2 driver, Ryan. If I can find him. There he is. Nope, that's Colt.
Everything's moving so fast.
Anyway,
I can get him.
Nope.
Oh no, he moved.
there we go. Hello, Edward. How are you doing today?
Yo.
Hey. Well,
Boy, I can tell you
fantastic
what,
race.
Rodriguez is not used to having anybody up there with him, is he?
Well, that's well.
That man, oh my goodness, he needs to learn a little racing etiquette, man. He was defending 3-4 times at a, dang,
Yeah.
ruined my
So-
race.
So that was going to be our
Go ahead.
first question. The incident on the main straight.
Who was the blue flag, real quick? Who was the blue flag?
Um,
Is that Watt?
I don't think I caught him.
We're not 100% sure who that was. It was a BMW, I'm pretty sure, but I don't
Yeah,
know
it was a
if
Toy
was
Story
Watt or not.
BMW. That was
I will.
totally on
I will
purpose
look it
too.
up here.
But yeah, that they certainly didn't do you any favors. And then that what I'm more concerned about was that run that you had going on the main strip, because you were able to keep that gap. You were 0.1 behind coming out of the last corner, and then that it looked like a very late defensive move. Thoughts?
Which who was in front, me or him? Because I mean, I'm
From him,
trying
from
to
him.
calm down, bro.
Well, if you don't want to get fired up, you had a fantastic race for starters. You pulling the undercut first of all, was fantastic. I think you did an amazing job because you probably have no way of knowing this, but you were slower than him in pit lane, stop and pit lane total time. So you pulled like 5-6 seconds in the undercut, which is incredible. You obviously had some pretty good clean air there, but yeah, was there anything you focused on there? Or were you just trying to put in good laps?
Honestly, I was just trying to put in good laps. I did a lot of practicing this week. I knew kind of what my pace would be. I've been running 142.5s like in single player, like pretty consistent. I was comfortable with that. And I don't guess I set up my lobby exactly the same as the lobby for SRA, and my tires on that first stint. That's why I was kind of focused on the undercut, but then at the same time, like my tires are also hitting like 27.2.
Yep.
So I was just like, man, I'm gonna wing it. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna pit. I threw my pressures down and then just threw a new set on there and prayed for the best. And the tires actually worked out pretty good on the second stint.
That's good to hear. I will say, and obviously you can do whatever you would prefer to do. Practicing just on the servers is always better because you could never in single player. It's super hard to get everything 1-to-1. I typically find that the grip levels on the servers are a little bit different. It's usually a little bit grippier, but it's always so weird going from single player to on the online servers. But yeah, no, whatever you did, obviously your prep this week was incredible. I think that now you've had a minute to settle down. So we did see the incident where I believe it was going into Aqua Minerale, or into that sequence of corners. There was a back marker that blocked you, that allowed the other car to get ahead, but then you were able to keep a very, very small gap of a 0.1 second going onto the main straight. And the way it looked to us, it looked like you had overlap. And he moved over on you. Any thoughts on that you would like to share that are very public?
All I can say is that he's not used to having people up there giving him a little contest.
Okay.
I hope that next season we're in the same division, and I'll have hopefully time to practice like I did this week for the first time this entire season, all of next season, and hopefully I can give him a run for his money.
Let's go.
He can calm it down a little bit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, I think, in my opinion, I think in D5 and D6, I think what you're saying is probably at least a decent amount correct, that he hasn't had a lot of battling to do the last few weeks. He's won the last 4 races of the season, provisionally in this instance for this race. So it's maybe not something he's had to worry about too much. So you could be right on that account. But yeah, when we saw that move, it was a
there's that move, and then there was a move where I was going to pass him on the straight, and then he almost took himself out trying to take me out. And it's like, bro, what are you doing, man? Like, you've already defended at the beginning of this straight and immediately afterwards, and now here we are 300 yards down the straight. I've got, I had to back out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, I had you all day long. Like, we can battle in these upcoming turns. Like, we ain't got to do this right here on the straight, man. We can just race.
No, totally. I'm glad I'm not a steward, because I don't want to have to look at that. But I would be surprised if he doesn't get a penalty, but I don't know what the penalty for that is. Either way, I think you have absolutely nothing to be ashamed about, because you drove a fantastic race this evening. You, like we said, you pulled the undercut, and you pulled a huge gap to get him in the pits. And just to do that at all is incredible, considering the pace that he's had the second half of the season. Right,
yeah. Yeah, as soon as I started noticing his pace, he was more closer to 143s, and I knew I could squeeze out them 142.5s. Man, what killed me more than anything is track cuts. You'll notice two reasons my pace slowed down tremendously after the back marker tried to take me out. Number one, I realized I was going to be about 3 liters short on fuel to finish. So
Oh no!
Yeah, so I ran a lap and a half on map 8 to buy myself some fuel, which worked. So obviously that slowed my pace down, but it gave me the fuel I needed. I actually took a picture on my phone. When I crossed the finish line, it went to 0.0. Like I literally had enough just to finish the race. Like it was crazy. And then yeah, the back marker trying to take me out after that, like the car I just couldn't get the car to handle the same after that. I mean, it was kinda, as soon as I kind of settled in, I was like, dude, P2, it is what it is. You know what I mean?
Yep. Well, either way, amazing race. You did like we were saying, you did a wonderful job. Adam, unless you have any more questions for him, I just have one.
I'm all out of my questions.
All right, so one singular question for you, shouldn't be too hard. Do you have any shout-outs that you would like to give to anyone, like a teammate or anyone like that?
Man, I'm solo dolo. I do want to shout out everybody in the paddock, this little private group that we got. I think I had a fair amount of people watching the race and kind of being cheerleaders for me. It's greatly appreciated. Appreciate y'all's time.
Yeah, you definitely had
and
some people in chat.
I want to shout out SRA for always hosting these events, and I mean they're just so fun. It keeps me playing ACC. If there was no SRA, dude, ACC wouldn't even be on my PC.
I know that feeling.
Love to hear that. You had Kelly Bass in chat was shouting you out.
Well, thank you, Kelly. Shout out to her and Nick. Then that's what's up.
Yeah, there we go. All right. Well, yeah. A fantastic season for you. I am super excited to see what you can do going forward because I don't think you're near your ceiling. But yeah, I will shoot you back down into the chat, assuming good lord, I'm messing everything up. I got this, I promise.
It's all good, dude.
Thank you so much for joining us. Congratulations on a fantastic season, and good luck in the future.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you. Also, shout out to you for holding it down. You know, broadcasting these this whole season.
Oh yeah,
also appreciated.
To Henry and Matt, Trey filled in tonight for Henry. Henry had he's a firefighter. He's just like not doing anything. He just had to fight a fire. So whatever. No one cares about that.
Nothing crazy.
No, he's not doing anything cool at all.
Well, hopefully he's good.
Nah, he's chill. He's chill. But yeah, I'm shooting you back down. Talk to you later, bub.
See ya.
All right.
All right. So, I see Rodriguez. Do we want to pull him up next?
I think so. I think we have to.
All right. I will go ahead and get him up here. Roger, welcome to the booth.
Hey, good evening, guys.
Yeah, so, amazing race out there. Obviously, you won this, and with that win, you secured the championship. So, amazing job. How did it feel out there?
Stressful. Ryan really pushed me to my limits. I just texted him a little bit for that bumping and racing there. We had a good battle. It was tough. We were trading blows and little pushing from his side, little elbows out on his side and on my side as well. But it was a stressful race. I'm not gonna lie. He pushed me to my limits on this one.
Yeah. Did you have really any idea that he was gonna undercut you the way he did?
No, I thought that after the first initial battle, his tires were just degrading because mine were too, and I just thought his were degrading worse. So he just fell back more, and I was just like, okay, let me just see if I can extrapolate a little more pace, get out in front of him, because I knew the undercut was in contention. I just didn't know how strong it was.
Mm-hmm.
It was strong because I was surprised when he blew right by me right after as I was coming out of the pits there.
Yeah, we were keeping an eye on the gap, and the ideal pit time is about 1:10, and when you pitted, you had about a 1:12 gap. But he did so much work in those first few laps to make the undercut work.
Oh yeah, he did for sure. He was pushing. He was smoking today. If it wasn't for maybe a misfortune or two of a blue flag and me being able to sneak by, it would have been a fight to the end, because I think the first 15 laps he was within 3/10 behind me the whole way.
So that's exactly where I was going. The misfortune, the blue flag incident that allowed you to initially get by. Very opportunistic by you. I don't think you did anything wrong. But I do you have any thoughts on I believe it was that following lap, the moment on the main straight where it looked like he had a run and you maybe had a late move. We couldn't say for sure. It looked late for us, but do you have any thoughts on that?
So my thoughts on that were, as I was seeing him come up on me, I was kind of just drifting to kind of make sure he'd stayed behind me, and then he kind of gave me a bump as I had a little bit of steering lock, which kind of almost made me crash and go off there. I was kind of a little upset about that because I was, given the nature of the elbows out a few laps before that,
Sure.
where he kind of checked me out in Aqua Minerale. Or excuse me, prior to Aqua Minerale, he squeezed me out at the. I had a run on him on the geez.
Are you talking about the downhill right-hander of turn like 11 and 12, or?
No, at the hairpin. I'm sorry. I had a run on him at the hairpin, and he kind of squeezed me out, ran me out of road, and then subsequently, right at Aqua Minerale, he shoulder checked me and kind of pushed me off there. So I was like, okay, well, we're racing elbows out, so we're gonna go elbows out. And I just took it as okay, we're gonna do some rough racing. If we're gonna squeeze each other out and we're not gonna give each other room, well, I'm gonna repay the favor and grant me. I mean, I think fair is fair in a way. Kind of cheeky, but
Yeah. We're not stewards, so we're not gonna adjudicate that. But yeah, I don't think we saw that one. I think we saw the Aqua Minerale answer that you're talking about, and I will say you absolutely were there on the outside, but even if you gave you room, if you made a move there, I probably would have streaked around my neighborhood because that would have been the pass of the century, because it would have been incredible. Not saying you didn't, if you weren't given room that you didn't deserve it, you of course, you were, because I think you were enough alongside, but oh baby, that would have been a move.
I wasn't trying to make the pass, but I definitely was trying to get alongside of him going up the hill to either, get a little bit of a better exit off of the chicane.
Oh, for sure.
He was taking that chicane like a champ. I'm gonna tell you that right now. My hat's off to him, because I on full fuel, the McLaren was so sketchy trying to take those chicanes. I had to be so careful, and I just saw him just attacking the heck out of those chicanes.
Mm-hmm.
My hat's off to you, Ryan.
All right, so
well,
again,
I will say. Sorry, go ahead, Trey.
No, I was gonna say if you had any other questions.
No, I was gonna say I will say that you messaged him. He certainly felt some type of way about what happened, but I think I don't have any doubts that you guys aren't going to be able to hash that out. And he said that he wants to race you going forward, and he hopes you guys are in the same division next season. And I agree with that, because you both are very quick, and I think, screw it, be teammates. That'd be a lot of fun.
You know what? You bring up a good idea, sir. You bring up a good idea. I just
That's
might
a great idea.
mess with him and see if we can probably hash this out and work it out.
I hope so, because you're both incredible. You're both incredible drivers, and obviously, to you, congratulations on the championship.
Thank you so much. I was practicing so hard this last bit of the season after going through some hardware issues, fixing those, and now being able to get proper seat time. Just, it's stressful, but it feels good. I'm still sweating right now.
Very fair, given the fight that you had to deal with. So I think the last question that we have for you is there anyone that you would like to give a shout out to, either friends, family, teammates, anything?
Definitely to all my guys who are watching up in Chicago and DC, and to you guys, SRA, you guys put it on. I thank you so much, for doing this. I thank you for your time. You guys do great. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. It's truly a pleasure to do this. It's so much fun.
It is a lot of fun. Being able to watch racing, especially when it's maybe a lot more chaotic than most normal racing that you'd see. Of course, we'd rather see clean racing, but for the ratings.
Well, Yeah, and with people you know and you interact with a lot, and it's just so much fun to have that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I don't think we have anything else. Again, great race. Congrats on the championship, and we hope to see you again next season.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, guys.
I will shoot you back down into the race chat.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Have a great night.
Yep. You too, man.
All right, and then I think the last person that we have time for, if we want, we can pull up our silver championship winner, Dismukes.
Let's do it.
All right. I saw him a little bit ago. There he is.
He's in there. Yep.
Now I just gotta have Discord work for me.
Good luck.
Hello, Roger. Welcome to the booth.
Yeah, what's up?
Hey, man. So it seems like you are our D5 silver champion.
I'm not sure about that because somebody wrecked me early and I didn't finish all that great.
I think you maybe did, man.
From the standings championship, it says after 8 of 8 rounds, and you are on top. Now, of course, there could be something that we're waiting on to update.
Yeah, how many points does it say by?
You have 340 points, and Wit had 307. So, by 30.
Yeah, that was the totals last week.
So.
Oh no, we're wrong. Trey,
yeah, you'll have to add up to see if Wit. You'll have to add up. Wit took 5th, and I think I took 18th because I got killed on lap 3.
Oh.
It looks like you.
Dang it!
You lost by 8. Well, but that's penalties, obviously withstanding.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Dang it. Well, anywho.
Trey, you blew it!
I got saved a shoey. No, it's nothing you can do when somebody pops you from behind.
Yeah, no, yeah, we clocked that early. That was super unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had
I can't remember. You had good qualifying today, didn't you?
I was like P13 or so.
Yeah,
P13 or 14. It wasn't great, but I was in position where all I needed was just to keep in position. I would have just needed to gain maybe 1 or 2 positions, and then I would have had Wit covered unless he got top 3.
Yeah. Well, I don't. Where did he finish? I just had.
I think he finished 5.
Yeah, Wit finished P5. So.
Yeah, he finished P5. Dang. Well, that's unfortunate. But wait, we still want to talk to you. You had a fantastic season.
Yeah, it's life. Hey, sometimes the lemons turn to lemonade, and sometimes it goes the other way.
Yeah, I mean, you still had, at the very least, a top 10 overall in D5. So, I mean, having that, you beat most of the gold field. So, that's obviously nothing to be ashamed of.
No, not at all.
Yeah, so apologies for giving you false hope, but yeah.
No, I already knew my fate because I had a pretty good idea what I needed to do, and I knew I had my work cut out after lap 3.
All right. Well, other than the bump that you had early in the race, how did it go overall for you?
I did all right. I just didn't have any tires at the end because I pitted so early.
Mm-hmm.
I just decided to pit really early so I could get around the slower people, but then I ended up getting caught by right in the leaders. So even though I was very close to their pace, I still had to respect the blue flag. So that kind of killed me.
Yeah. So I think you were in that first. There was like a group of 4 cars that all pitted around the same time. I think you were in that group. Around like the 45-minute mark left in the race.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I thought that would be a lot easier to then try to pass all the back markers.
Sure.
On track is to get them between pits, but some of them went in a little early, so that kind of ruined it.
I mean, it's a good thought. Nothing wrong with trying something different. It just didn't work out for you tonight.
Yep.
Well,
but hey, it was a good season, like you said.
No, you had a fantastic season. So, I mean, I just had it. Looks like in D5, if, obviously, things was standing at P10 overall, and P2 in silver. I mean, that's a fantastic season.
Yeah, and I'm not going to complain at all. It's more than I expected at the start of the year, so.
Yeah. All right. Well, I don't have any other questions. Trey, you got anything?
I don't know. I mean, and it wasn't. I mean, the guy didn't really. What happened on that one is he did hit his brakes on time, but if you ever watch the replay, he kind of wiped out on the corner going onto that turn and heated up his brakes big time, so they didn't work properly.
Yeah.
It's just an unfortunate situation for you. But last question for you, I think, anyways, is do you have anyone that you want to give a shout out to at the end of the season?
Yeah, all the really old people who are racing here and still being competitive.
We'd love to hear it.
I can definitely say I'm not a part of that group.
Yeah, it's a good mix of people though.
It's honestly, I think it's way more people than people would think. It's a lot. I think it's a lot more people than people in SRA would imagine.
Yeah.
I guess that maybe depends on what you consider old.
Yeah, well, I'm old by most respects.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm 36 and I'm 37. I'm not considered old, right?
Yeah, you're young compared to me.
Okay, cool.
I'm 61.
Oh wow.
Well, no, you're a spring chicken.
Yeah, still.
Yeah.
In mind and spirit, not so much in body anymore.
Nah, you're in your prime. Don't let them tell you you're not.
I'll just set my goal to be as good as you are at your age.
I would love that. I would love that.
Absolutely. But yeah, so again, sorry for the false hope. Either way, amazing season, P2 and silver. But we will go ahead and send you back down to the D5, D6 chat.
Yep. Fantastic
All right.
season, Roger. Have a good night.
All right, you too. Thanks.
All right, so a little bit of an incident there that I had, but you know,
Unfortunate.
I wish I reloaded the page and nothing had changed except for the 8 out of 8. But oh well.
Yeah, it probably just took a minute.
Yeah. Either way.
And I don't see Nolan Witt in the chat, so.
But either way, amazing job to Witt. Finish P5, I think that was. Oh, we're still live, and we have Alexa to join us at the very end.
Oh
damn, you guys are still going?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're still going. Any thoughts?
It's been a good season.
It has been a good season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we saw a lot of good battling today. There's been a lot of good battling all season, not just in D5, obviously, in all the divisions. But we're not quite done with that racing, by the way. Tomorrow, I'm going to go ahead and move to the season calendar. We finished all but 3 races. Tomorrow, D2, D4, and D6 are all finishing out the season at Imola. Should be fun racing tomorrow. I know, well, at least I hope so, because I'll be in it, but after that, we'll have a bit of a break, which should be good. It's been a very busy couple of months doing this.
It has been. And yeah, I think everyone's going to look forward to the summer break, get some sun, get a little tan.
Alexa, are you going to join us in racing next season?
I don't have a PC.
That sounds like a
Okay, well,
but
that's next. You have a rig now, so.
Yeah, next steps.
Yeah, your PC.
Maybe when Evo comes out and we get allowed crossplay, if they ever do that, maybe then I can race. Until then, I'm gonna be sat here in the commentary box.
Well, we're all better off for it.
Absolutely. But yeah, so.
And that's not a remark on your racing skill. You're just very good at commentary.
Why? What's it? Why? Why? What somebody just said in YouTube chat?
What did I hear? I didn't hear anything. Okay. Okay. Bye, Alexa.
Well, I mean, she's gone one way or another.
I didn't kick her.
Absolutely.
I didn't do it.
No, not at all. Yeah.
I hope she comes back halfway in the stream.
But yeah, anywho, this was a fun race. Great racing. Great season. I know you've been watching D5 for just about this entire thing, so any closing statements?
It's been a blast. You know, it started off a little rough the first few weeks. A lot of hargy-bargy, a lot of racing incidents, a lot of penalties.
I know that experience.
Yeah, I know you do. But I think the back half of the season, and this was something that I was saying, early in the season, that these drivers will figure it out. And I think by and large they did. And I think they delivered an incredible back half of the season. I think the racing was awesome to watch. The pace is blistering. I this isn't brag, so please don't take it that way. I've never raced below D2 and SRA, but the pace that is being set, even in D5, it's scary. It's scary.
It's very scary.
Like I'm pretty sure if I came back, like I would maybe be competitive in D3, maybe more likely in D4.
I don't know. In D4, we have a guy right now who's setting D1 pace consistently.
It's insane. This league is so incredible and so fast, but at the same time, D5 and D6, like we keep cycling through these new people, and they just keep shooting up the standings, and they just keep going right back up. So, whatever is happening in this league is fantastic and correct. And if you're not one of those people that's moving again faster, don't worry about it. I love D5. Y'all are the best.
I wish I was still in D5.
Yeah, this was one of my favorite seasons of SRA. Was watching this D5 season. So shout out to all of you drivers, every single driver that took part in even one race. Whether you got promoted, you stopped racing for whatever reason, you were fantastic, and we thank you for taking part. That's all I have to say.
Yep. So, again, been an amazing season so far. Our D3, 5, and our D1 seasons are all complete. Did you have something else?
I do have one other thing. Thank you to Jess Osborne and Milton, aka Jay Queasy, for everything they do for getting the streams ready to go. Also, a thank you to you, Trey, for hopping in last minute to make sure that we had a stream tonight. Because if it wasn't for you, that possibly wouldn't have happened. And a thank you to the admins for all the work they do. Even Martin. Even Martin.
Yeah, it's always fun to stream stuff, especially when it was back in my stomping errands from the year start of the season. But yeah, it's been an amazing. The admins do a great job with all that gets thrown at them.
They do so much work,
and getting everything set up every single week and making sure that we actually are able to have these races. So obviously, thank you to them. But for our closing statements, again, D1, D3, and 5 are decided. We have our championships, so make sure to watch the reveal stream for season 15 to watch their shoeies. So it should be a lot of fun. But also make sure to come back tomorrow for the D2 finale on Twitch and the D4 and D6 finales right back here on YouTube. I am Trey Morgan, and I've been joined by Adam Santana, and it's been a great time. So see y'all later.
See ya.